diamonds, step by step. I'm a Christopher Wallace, but I know success. And I know them roads, cause I felt that stress. So walk with me through the valley of the shadow of death. I told him stage 1 was make it, maintain it. You know, make the money, maintain motivation.
Alexa, turn off. What is going on, people? How are you? Come, sit down, have a brew with me. Ooh, it's nice, a bit hot. Right, so today's video, a little bit different to normal. No big weights, heavy sets, training. No clients, nothing going on today really. This is just a little Q&A session with me. If this is good, and I'll do a couple more. But it's just a chilled sit down chat really. I put the question box on my IG the other day, so we are literally just going to go through that, see what we got asked, see what's going on. And the reason I'm doing this on YouTube is simply because the IG ones, like, they're good and they're quick and they're snappy and you can answer, but with this we're going to go into a little bit more detail around the questions that were asked, or just give more responsive answers really, than quick slides or like 30-second replies. So we've got like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17 questions. You know, that's pretty steady, to be fair. So right, let's kick them off. So one is cardio or weight training to lose fat. Well, this one's an interesting one because both can effectively aid with that. But the key thing is really is going to be putting yourself in a calorie deficit. And you know, you'll probably see 100 coaches say this over and over again. Calorie deficit, calorie deficit. It's right, it's simple, you know. And then based on the look that you want at the end of it, that's where your cardio or your weights is going to be important. If you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. You know, if you would like to maintain muscle while losing weight, then you're going to have to do resistance and weight training work. If you don't really care about how much muscle you've got or what you actually look like, and you just want to be sort of skinny fat, then yeah, do all the cardio in the world in a calorie deficit, and then you're just going to look quite skinny. So yeah, it's a personal choice, that one, but ultimately I would recommend a nice mix of both with a calorie deficit, because if you're going to do cardio and weights, they're both going to burn calories, so that's going to increase your calorie deficit. So that will allow you to eat slightly more food to shorten this calorie deficit, so you're not as exhausted and you've got the energy to actually fuel your workouts and progressively lose weight. This is an interesting one because this is kind of one that I get asked quite a lot, to be fair, and it's something that I don't really recommend. So right, the question is, what's your opinion on weight loss injections? Are they really a quick fix? So ultimately they are going to help you lose weight. So there is a reason that they help you lose weight. In short, without getting too sciencey about it, they suppress your appetite and they take away basically any sort of desire that you have to eat or to increase sort of food intake. So the bottom line is, if you're not eating but you're moving, you're going to be in a calorie deficit, and this kind of refers back to what the last one was actually. But the risks that come with, you know, GLP pens and substances are things like affecting your body's own insulin resistance. Also, the studies, I read a study the other day actually, where the weight you lose isn't all body fat, it can be bone mass and also muscle mass. And they're two things that are significantly important to you if you would like to be able to move or to lift weights or to be active as you get older. Because as you get older anyway, your bone density is going to diminish, which is why you kind of see the old people that they tend to be frail. So well, I say our age, being young, anybody under the age of 60 really shouldn't be frail, and you shouldn't really have diminishing bone density. You know, at that point it's not really a thing, and it shouldn't be worth, you know, losing a couple of pounds here and there just for that, really, basically. So what I'm saying is the Ozempic pens and the Saxenda pens, etc., do I believe there's a place for them? Yes, I do. Do I believe they are a quick fix for healthy people to lose weight? Absolutely not. And if we're going to be honest from a drug standpoint of view, let's look at bodybuilders. Like, whether you want to be a bodybuilder or not, whether you want to be Mr. Olympia or not, or whether you think it's freaky or disgusting, or whatever you think of the guys and girls who compete on the Olympia stage, you have to look at it and go, let's be open, transparency here. They use anabolic steroids and they use drugs, okay? So if they are not using this drug to lose weight and get on stage and be in single digit body fats, there's a reason they're not using this drug, and that's something that you have to look at. When these people are getting paid sums of money basically represented on how they look, and they're still not using this pen, that would flare up questions in my mind, when they're obviously willing to do whatever it takes at this point, and they're still not using this pen. But Sandra wants to use this pen to go on holiday because she can't be asked to go to the gym. That would be one big red flag to me. Obviously, I'll point out the study that I read the other day. Losing muscle mass, again, don't really want to lose muscle mass, do you? Just to lose some body fat. And then also basically diminishing bone density as well along the way, that's going to make you weaker and cause more issues as you go predominantly long term. So that would be another red flag for me. And a third red flag is the way that it will affect your appetite, metabolism and insulin resistance long term moving forward, because how you come out of the other side of this would be important. And for a normal person, like somebody who isn't clinically obese, somebody who doesn't have diabetes, and somebody who isn't physically able, if you don't fall into them three categories, then this pen isn't really a medicine for you. You know, if you're physically unable to work out or to do things but are also overweight, then the pen can help you. If you are clinically obese to the point where it is life-threatening on your internal organs and your quality of life, the pen can help you. But otherwise, if you are able and can go to the gym, or can walk your dog, or you can sit on a bike or a rowing machine, then I would really strongly recommend going to the gym and getting some good nutritional advice for yourself, rather than using one of these pens or these weight loss injections. So, on to the next one. How much wood could a woodchuck chop if a woodchuck could chop wood? And the answer to that is, I don't really know. That is the answer to that question. I really don't know. So, thanks. But I guess we move on, because I don't know the answer to that. If any of you guys out there do know the answer to that, please put them in the comments, and we can discuss later, can't we? Clients who struggle mentally, how do you help them navigate those challenges? That's a really good question, to be fair. So everybody in life is going to have different struggles, mentally, physically, you know, emotionally, however they they are affected in life. But mentally, you've got to sit down with that client and break down what their barriers are. Why are they in this position? Why do they feel like that? And why are they struggling? You know, they're all separate quantities, and when you can understand that, you and your client can sort of manage this and sort of set up a plan. Like, and you know, I'd look at it in tick boxes. You know, sometimes there's going to be things that are against you, like certain people's situations, they may have not put themselves in that situation. So that could be a why they're in this, because something has happened out of their control, but it's left them in a shit situation. How they deal with that though is going to show a lot about them and what they're going to do moving forward. So you can help them, or well, I can help that person deal with it by coming up with a list of things that we can achieve, that we can accomplish, that are in our control and that we can look at moving forward. Because if you're in a real shit space and a real shitty situation, you know, whether it be like a breakup or an injury or, you know, like external factors that are slightly out of your control, reassess, because it's not all going to be bad. Because if you're in a breakup, your heart is going to heal and your feelings are going to get better. If you're injured, whatever injury that is going to heal over time. You know, there is things that you can do to make these things better. So you have to look at it that way, and how you can do these things to accomplish what it is that is going to make your situation better. And then once your situation starts to become better, you will become better, because you will have that drive, that motivation, that confidence back from navigating the shit situation you're in. So that mental barrier that's knocking you down every day, you're going to find a way to go round it, over it, under it, however you want to attack it. It's basically about finding a way. You know, one of the biggest things I think with mentality, mental health and like mental fortitude is the ability to speak and the ability to communicate. And if you are struggling, try communicating, try opening up, try speaking, because these things can be beneficial, especially if you speak to the right person. You know, I mean, I'm not saying go out there and just fucking tell the world your problems. You know, pick a good friend, maybe your partner, maybe your parent, you know, maybe your coach. You know, look at the skill set of the person you're going to talk to and think, can you help me? Because keeping everything to yourself, that barrier is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So mentally you're always going to struggle with that. So to go back to the actual question, how would I help them? I would make them look at the situation. I would try and get them to communicate, and then basically action it. And as I said previously, within, you know, something like tick boxes, you know, whether it's daily checks, you know, like if you're at home and like I said, you've just gone through a breakup and you're depressed, get the fuck up out of bed. You know, go and see some sunlight, go and see your friends, go and work out, you know, go and feel better for yourself, go and do something for yourself, you know. And if you can do them things every day, over time it's going to get better, and that mental barrier is going to come down and down and down until you can literally just step over it. You know, job done. You know, with an injury, you know, so I've just gone through, you know, shoulder rehabilitation, had an operation and back in December, you know, and there was days there where I thought, fuck this is wank. Like, I feel shit. Like, I couldn't even unload the dishwasher. I couldn't pick up a bag when I used to go food shopping. Like, I had to get my sister to do it for me. Like, I couldn't do nothing. I felt like a tit. So I had to look at that and look at the situation I was in and look how I'm going to get past that and what I'm going to do, you know. So again, I came up with a plan, and then I got it fixed, and then, You know, once you've got it fixed, you're moving forward, you're looking at a rehab plan, you're looking at a recovery plan, then you're looking at a strength plan, you know, and it's step by step by step by step, just going up and up and up. And then obviously, like, I'm back to full training now. So for me, that was how I dealt with that. Don't get me wrong, there was some bad days and I felt like shit mentally and emotionally, and it was really bad, but you know, we got through it by assessing my situation and setting targets and things that where I could just move forward. So that was really helpful. And then to be fair, I have seen one of them. Where is it? My yeah. So another question is, how's your shoulder injury now, and what rehab and prehab work do you do? So yeah. So I semi-answered it, not really. I thought it was a little bit basically just like kind of what did you do, but yeah. So this question is, how's your shoulder injury now, and what rehab prehab work do you do? So my shoulder injury now is pretty much okay. I'm fairly back to normal. I'm back training, I'm back lifting and stuff, so that's pretty good. In terms of rehab work, I did a lot of banded work and scapular retraction stuff at home in the mornings when I got up, and then in the gym I do some more weighted things, like I'm doing body weight hangs at the moment. I am doing some more resistance banded work at the gym as well, oscillating it and locking the shoulder up within the band and stretching it through external ranges. I'm also doing some kettlebell stuff, like pendulum swings, pendulum rotations, just kind of trying to mobilise my joint. At the moment as well, I'm working closely with Hayden from Destination. He's the in-gym sports therapist, so we're working together with that, and we are looking at just basically things like subscap, pec, serratus, you know, medial delt, biceps, and just making sure they're all loose, they're all mobile, that we've got that full range in there, so everything is sort of intertwined and connected. While I'm training as well, I'm trying to focus on going through a full range, so depending on what session I'm doing and how I feel that day, I just have to be wary with the weight that I push through it for upper. So some weeks I'm obviously always trying to push on for progressive overload. That's obviously the plan in bodybuilding, but there'll be some weeks where I kind of just sit in a stretch. So like a weighted stretch, like say for example, if I'm coming down with my dumbbells, sometimes I'll just sit and hold at the bottom, and I know this is going to lose me reps and partially probably half a set, but getting that full stretch, really opening up my pec, you know, and lengthening my front delt through this phase as well, is just going to allow me that extra little bit of room through my joint. But I am going to lose some reps and sets while doing this, but I am also getting a stretch which is going to give me more range, which will technically give me more activation. So if I'm getting more activation, then your volume can be slightly lower. So it just depends how I'm feeling with it each week, and it's just something that I've got to manage as we go. But I'm still progressing through all my sessions, so that's the important thing really. So I do feel it's going quite well, and I am doing good mobility stuff at home, which is slowly progressing. I find it a little bit more difficult in the morning though to get things moving, but pre-workout my prehab stuff is going really well, and it's allowing me to push on through my sessions. So what else? We've got another question. If you could train with any bodybuilder, past or present, who would it be? I've been fortunate enough to train with some real good top pros and Olympians in my my limited bodybuilding career. So I've actually got kind of a few answers for this. You know, I really look up to him, and I think he's great, and I'm lucky enough to call him a friend now. But Nathan Diasha, I loved training with Nathan. It was great. We have a very similar, if not the same, philosophy of training, of getting lift hard, lift heavy, lift till, you know, literally the wheels come off, and it's great. I love training with Nathan. I learnt a lot. I looked up to him a lot. Still do. He's a top Olympian. He's, you know, got the most British pro wins in history. I think he's a great bodybuilder and a great person. So for me, that was fantastic, and that was a big opportunity, a repeated opportunity that I'll actually never forget. In terms of, like, say, past, I'm gonna put out there, it's not that past, but RIP is Sean Roden. I thought the guy was phenomenal. I met him a couple of times, never got to train with him, but I thought he was phenomenal. Like, for me, just the shape, the structure, the level of bodybuilding, the level he took bodybuilding to was unreal. I thought it was great. It was just, you know, oh, I loved it. You know, Sean was a man. Like, he was great. And I mean, if we're gonna go a little bit more old school, it would have been interesting to train with, like, you know, Kevin Levrone, Flex Wheeler, that sort of era, because they were just like, they were just like hardcore, because fatigue management wasn't a thing back then. Do you know what I mean? They just went in the gym and they just got heavy. They just got on with it. You know, that 90s bodybuilding was just mega. I was a big fan of that. But yes, I guess present would be Nathan, which I've already done, which is fantastic. Past, I'd go with Sean. But if we take Nathan out of it, because I've already done that, currently, probably Martin Fitzwater. I would go Martin Fitzwater. He's another one who really gets after it. You know, another top Olympian, very good, nice solid physique, complete, got a good training split. Again, takes bodybuilding very seriously and really gets after it. So I think that would be a good session to not only learn from, but, you know, like, take for the memory books as well. So I think that'd be pretty cool. What benefit is magnesium, and when is the best to take it? So with this one, magnesium glycinate is what you want to be using before bed, and magnesium sulfate is what you want to be using in your bath. They are really the only two that I use. So there's multiple forms of magnesium, and there's obviously varying dosages that you can take it in. I'll be brutally honest, with the bath salts, the magnesium sulfate bath salts, you're probably meant to measure it out. I just throw loads in depending on how I'm feeling, and how hard the session was, and the chances are you get out and you're pretty sleepy after your bath. You know, pretty sleepy, ready to go to bed in a nice relaxed state. So again, that's going to help recovery, so anything you do there is always going to be a bonus. And then the magnesium glycinate, ideally they recommend about 500 milligrams before bed. Anywhere between 15-20 minutes before bed is ample. You don't need much more than that. So I take this every night as well. I think that helps, and I sleep very well, so I can't complain. But sleep is so important for you know, just overall recovery and growth. So whatever you want to do in life, your sleep is going to be important. So make sure you've got your sleep on track, guys. Another question. When you coming up to Scotland? So this is crazy because I've never been to Scotland, you know, not once. Yeah, not for bodybuilding, not for football, not for athletics, not even to sightsee. I think it's a little bit too cold up there. It's a little bit too cold up there for me, I think. But potentially we could make a trip up. I suppose it would be quite nice, but that's something we'll have to plan, I think. You know, if anybody's got any good spots in Scotland, you know, as I've never been, let me know, and we can have a look, can't we? I'm training for an endurance event. Could you help, or do you only help bodybuilders? Yes, I could help with this. Very simply, I could help with this. It would be nice to know what type of endurance event you're doing. Are you doing an Ironman? Are you doing like a 10k run, 20k run, marathon, half marathon, like swims? Yeah, drop me a DM and we can help, because we can set up your training and your nutrition to go alongside this. The endurance events are pretty good, to be fair. I enjoy watching them. I don't do them as personal enjoyment. That would be, I think, a little bit much for me. I don't think my knees would take it, or maybe my back, or maybe my heart. So I tend to stay away from them, but I can definitely help you coach you through one, and you know, get you mentally prepared and physically prepared for that. So not a problem at all. Do get in touch and we can help. What others we got here? Opinions on the current coaching industry. Wow. I don't think we've got time to cover this on this video today. No, I joke. Yeah, the current coaching industry, man, is wild. You know, I can say this because I've got some skin in the game. I've been doing this a long time now. You know, we're talking like 10 odd years. I've been around the block. I've competed at international level in multiple sports. You know, like from athletics, cross country, football, bodybuilding, like. So when this comes to, we're talking about exercise and fitness, you know, I've got multiple qualifications, I've got multiple personal accolades, I've got multiple accolades with clients, you know. So when you're seeing some of the abysmal coaching that goes out today, you know, the copy and paste plans, I've done a photo shoot, or I've done one show, but this is all, I've only just started going to the gym in the last 6 months, but now I'm a coach because I've done it, so I'm going to tell you what to do, even though I don't really know how I did it. That sort of, you know, mentality and coaching that's gone out there, that is so common today, is pretty crazy. I think it's mental, to be fair. Like, I've got loads of friends who are extremely good coaches or top tier coaches that have done this for a very, very long time, and a lot of them run really successful businesses with multiple other coaches, like working with them or for them, and I think they're great, and they're the ones that really should be, you know, be doing like mentorships and stuff. I mean, some of them do, to be fair, and I mean, they're the people that people should be learning off as well, rather than just kind of thinking I've been going to the gym for 6 months, now I'm going to be a PT or a coach sort of thing. I understand everybody has to start somewhere, but this is one of them things where you've got to pay your dues, because I think that you should do so many hours on the gym floor for so long and learn social interaction, get experience with machines, different people's abilities, you know, different clients, you need the knowledge on how the body works, because no two people are the same, and especially nowadays with you know, one, drugs involved, two, many different female issues. Like a simple one is PCOS. You know, I'm not claiming to be an expert on this at all. However, it affects women differently. Like each woman, it affects differently to an extent. So again, no two clients are the same. So you can't say that you know everything, or that because you've dealt with it, like maybe you're, like yourself, or like with one client, that's just the blanket plan for everybody, because it's just not that simple. And people seem to just think that, or there's a lot of misinformation going out on Instagram and YouTube and whatever, and they just kind of copy and paste it without knowing the actual theory or even the environment that plan was set up to be used in. And that you can see it a mile off. You can see it a mile off when it just clearly doesn't suit the client that it's for. And the coach is like, yeah, do more, do more, do more. Well, do more is not always the answer. Sometimes it might be, but it's not always the answer. And that's where you have to sort of get around that. And that's called knowledge, experience, and actual coaching. So my opinion on the coaching industry today is there's some very good coaches out there, but there's some shit coaches out there. So it is what it is, isn't it? We won't be able to change that anytime soon. Will you be at the Gasp Mark 10 Classic? Yes, I will be at the Gasp Mark 10 Classic, and I'll be looking forward to it. If anybody's watching this and is competing, then you will have free access to destination over that whole weekend to come train, pose and do anything that you need to do. So that'll be fantastic. I hope to see you all there. I'll be at the gym training and you know, doing whatever I do down there. So that'll be that. But I will be at the show. I will be looking forward to it. And big shout out to Rob for making that happen and making bodybuilding great again. And I'll be really, really happy to see it do well. So I've actually got two questions that are basically the same. So one is, do you have a favourite training split? And the other is, what training splits do you do? So I'll answer them both together with kind of one answer but similar answers. So I'm not sure if what training splits do you do, does that mean for clients or myself? But for clients, in terms of what training splits do I do or give, then it's basically whatever suits the client's needs or whatever is going to get them the best results. Again, there isn't one greater training program that, you know, screams out and says you must do this, you must do that. So in the assessment that I do with my clients, we'll look at it, we'll base it on pretty much anything that needs to come up really. Time, ability, schedule, experience, understanding of training, end goal, physique goal, fitness goal, and that is how we'll work out what training split is best for you. And then relating to myself, do I have a favourite training split? Realistically, you would call it the bro split. You know, I like going in and doing like sort of single body parts with an add-on of one other, like chest and tries, back and buys, that sort of thing. You know, hams and glutes, quads and calves. And that's pretty much what I do at the moment, to be fair. I've always liked that. It's pretty old school. And it's something I've liked, something I do, and something I enjoy. And that's one of the biggest things, is doing what you enjoy. So we're moving on. Creatine, yes or no? Definitely a very big yes from me. I love creatine. I think it's a great supplement. Just to let all you know, crazy people out there know that creatine is not a drug, it is not a steroid. Creatine is something that is created naturally within food and obviously the supplement industry. Debunking creatine myths as well. No, you do not need to preload or front load this. No, you do not need to cycle this. No, you do not need to come off it. They're technically the same, but just to put it out there so people understand. 5 grams is a pretty much standard serving. If you can do more, if you can afford to do more, I would recommend, depending on body weight, anywhere between 5 to 20 grams. 20 is probably quite excessive, but I mean, for somebody like myself, I weigh like 126 kilo right now, so 20 grams of creatine would not be massively excessive. But if you're, you know, 60, 70 kilos, then I would stick to around 5 grams. So you can bump your creatine up, whether it be AM, pre-workout, post-workout. You know, they are the 3 main times I would probably recommend to take it, but there is no specific time you have to take creatine. But it's a definite yes, definite thumbs up from me. And that is all of our questions today. So thank you for everybody who gave me a question, and thank you for everybody who sat and watched this. Hope it's made your cardio go quicker, or, you know, pre-workout, or anything that you've been doing while you've been watching this. It's been great. Have a blast. I hope you've enjoyed your brew, and I'll catch up with you guys soon.